going on, everyone? Welcome back. My name is Dwayne James, and this is Mental Wellness Mondays. This week, we're going to be talking about a subject that may be sensitive to some, but nevertheless a very important discussion for us to have, which is the correlation between religion, spirituality, and mental health. Now, first and foremost, before we actually dive into this discussion, it's important for us to actually understand that there is a difference between religion and spirituality. Religion, on one hand, is much more of like the community-based system of beliefs, right? Things like, teachings or rituals or practices that may happen within that religion, which on the flip side, spirituality is much more of your own interpersonal relationship that you have with these beliefs. There are a lot of similarities as well when it comes to religion and spirituality. Some of them being that, it's rooted in understanding the meaning of life, right? It also helps with the relationship that you're building with whatever higher power is there that may influence the meaning of life for you. Both have a tremendously huge impact, a huge positive impact on mental health. And lastly, both really help with stress, which is a huge component that triggers mental health, because within religion and spirituality, you're able to manifest and understand, at times peace, forgiveness, and, purpose at times. Now, when it comes to mental health and religion, there's a laundry list of so many different beneficial factors that can play a role in the development of someone's mental well-being. One of them being that, religions can, help people cope with difficult situations, right? And that's because of the structures that they have in place within the religion. For example, if I unfortunately have lost a loved one, there's certain religious ceremonies and rituals that take place to help cope and process with the loss of that loved one. For example, a funeral. On the flip side, if I am somebody who is living with anxiety, going to a church or going to a safe space to practice this religion will be beneficial for me, because I understand that there's structure and there's predictability in these places, where majority of the time, it's time for this next step will be this, things like that, and that will begin to lower and suppress the anxiety within that individual to allow them to kind of continue to process within their mental wellness. When it comes to spirituality and mental health, it becomes a much more somewhat subjective conversation, because it's based on your experience with spirituality, right? So again, given that spirituality is the sense of connection with something bigger than yourselves, it kind of, begins to veer into territory of, your personal experiences once again. So for example, an aspect of spirituality can be looked at as meditation, right? When practicing meditation, the goal is not only to get to know yourselves better, but it's also to kind of ground yourselves in your real life experiences at that point in time, right? So for me, the process of meditating has allowed me to understand what triggers me, what doesn't work for me, things that I know may cause stress in my life, and a whole plethora of other things, right? While on the other hand, when we do practice mindfulness through the lens of spirituality, we then begin to kind of, appreciate the world around us and ground ourselves more in our real life experiences at these points in time, right? And all of that does allow us to become much more mentally aware of a lot of the things that may trigger us, or that may heighten our anxiety, that may trigger our depression, because we'll then be able to understand whoa, these things are leading up to maybe a depressive episode that I may be experiencing, and now it's time for me to kind of cut it short and do the things that I need to take care of myself in order to prevent those things from happening. Guys, before I wrap up, I wanted to give one shout out to the t-shirt brand that's actually sponsoring this week's episode of Mental Wellness Mondays, which is Karam Deo, based out of Canada, actually. It's a premium lifestyle brand that is actually Latin for in the presence of God. So now you kind of get the idea of what motivated me to have this discussion about religion, spirituality, and mental health. The mission is to create a market to promote cleanliness, honesty, and integrity. And I really, really supported that. And overall, I think it's a super dope brand. I am going to tag them in this week's video. Definitely give them a shout out. Definitely look at their stuff. It's pretty cool. I like the shirt. It fits nice. It feels good. So definitely, guys, Check them out. All right, you guys, that wraps up another episode of Mental Wellness Mondays. As always, don't forget to hit the like button, comment on what you guys thought about this week's video dealing with religion, spirituality, and mental health. Don't forget to kind of share it. Let a friend, auntie, uncle, cousin, niece, nephew, whoever, grandmother, grandfather know what's going on over here. And lastly, don't forget to follow the brand. They're doing really great things. They have a really great mission. And I will be back on Wednesday for the Mental Wellness Wednesdays live chat. And as always, it's all love. Don't forget to take care of yourselves this week. Take a mindful moment. And I will see y'all on Wednesday. Peace.